Hello, my dudes. It's your boy, IndieIzzy23, with the first video in about half a year where I've actually talked on it. That is why I have this nice little throwback of the old name of the channel, even though I changed it about 2 fucking years ago. So it's been a minute is what I'm saying. And today we're going to be making a video that I've wanted to make for a very long time. It's been a while. Not just a video on the beautiful band Get Spooked, though, but a video over the music that I love in general because, shut the fuck up, because it is such a important part of my life and just me as a person, and I don't ever have outlets to talk about it, and I've really wanted to make videos about it, but I didn't think anybody would watch this kind of video, except I realized I don't have a fucking audience, so all the people who are subscribed to me are probably bots. Probably bots, to be honest. But, you know, if you go back to my really old DayZ videos, which I would highly not recommend doing, Can You Feel My Heart by the British boy band Bring Me the Horizon was my intro song for probably 2 or 3 years, and every time somebody would comment saying, hey, that's fucking Bring Me the Horizon, I'd actually feel, like 100% I'd feel an actual beat in my heart, which was insane because that never really happened. Now, no need for introductions, tisk, let's get into the evolution of Get Scared. Now, I could bore you with when Get Scared was formed and all that, but I'm just more interested in talking about how they evolved sound-wise, in my opinion, on their albums. The first thing that they fully released was Cheap Tricks and Theatrics, and let me tell you, this is some good fucking music. And if you have not listened to this EP and you're a fan of Get Scared, just do it. Listen to Setting Yourself Up for Sarcasm, and If Only She Knew Voodoo like I do. And if those names sound familiar to you, to maybe their two of their more popular songs, Sarcasm and Voodoo, it's just a coincidence. It's a full-fledged coincidence. You know, but in all seriousness though, those are the original versions of the songs, and these versions, in my opinion, they feel more rough and homemade, and I love them. I think they're better than the remakes, and they just have this quality to them. Like, if you listen to it and you know the remakes, you're gonna listen to it like, there's something about this. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm crazy. But, you know, if you look at other songs off the EP, for example, like Lock the Doors, it just gets you in. It pulls you in from the start, with the first line being Lock the Doors, just sung beautifully and just has this power to it. And, like, even the B-sides to Cheap Tricks and Theatrics are amazing. Like, if you've listened to Dance with the Dead, it is a beautiful song. And it is just not commonplace in Get Scared songs, and it just feels so unique. And it gives the early years this feeling of just a band that is brand new, pouring their heart into this project that they care about and want to see successful. And so, you know, that's why Cheap Tricks and Theatrics is some of Get Scared's best work, in my opinion. But now it is time to look at the next release in the Pixar timeline, which is the Get Scared EP. Now, the Get Scared EP is short and sweet. It has 3 songs. Three songs, okay? Sarcasm and Voodoo. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're kind of unknown songs, but it also has a song called Deepest Cut. Now, the remakes, yes, are still amazing, but I feel like they overshadow Deepest Cut, and damn, is Deepest Cut a very good song. It is one of my favorite Get Scared songs, and it's only on that EP. And if you haven't heard it, because I know a lot of people haven't heard the EP, I'd highly recommend listening to Deepest Cuts. And also, the other reason why you may not have heard the EP is because Sarcasm and Voodoo are on the next album, The Best Kind of Mess, so, you know, then just Deepest Cuts goes into obscurity, and it's kind of sad because it is a very good song. But, you know, time to go to The Best Kind of Mess, the first full released album. I guess, you know, Cheap Tricks and Theatrics A and B side together is a full release, but I guess they didn't do that. But so yeah, it's time for The Best Kind of Mess. This album is a very well-known album by them, and is probably considered by many to be their best album. My opinion, no. And I'll get into my favorite album by them later. So The Best Kind of Mess is a real big boy. Finally, Get Spooked has released a full-length album, even though it only took a year, which, you know, props on them for taking a year to make a pretty damn good album. But, you know, I actually really don't have too many opinions on this album, because I like all the songs for the most part, but in my opinion, the only big standout song is Whore. Beautiful title, by the way. But, you know, it's a funny and interesting song, but it's also very real and has a lot of good points to it, and it really just does feel like the only song that just pops out, and like I still listen to this day. You know, besides the remakes, of course. But, you know, with that being said, I really don't have too much else to say about it. which, you know, scares me because now we're about to enter the dark ages with Built for Blame laced with shame. Dun dun dun. Now, if you asked me before 2017 what my favorite Get Scared release is, I'd scream to the fucking heavens, Built for Blame laced with cocaine, my dudes. That album, before 2017, was so fucking good. But ever since we found out Joel Fapier likes looking at child porn and got fucking arrested for it, yeah, I can't enjoy it that much. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. But now, here's the thing. Even though the album was made before he started having dreams about Clementine from The Walking Dead Season 1, you know, allegedly, right? I still can't listen to it. My ears are young and Joel is fucking them, and I don't want Mr. Pizza I was pleased to nut in ya in my ears, okay? No thanks. No fucking thanks. You know what sucks even more, though, is he was in a band before Get Scared called Dear Chandelier, which is was one of my favorite bands of all time. And then this shit happened, and he was like, nah, sorry, dude. My singing, every time you listen to my lyrics, just think about those lyrics. Instead of talking about a chick, I'm talking about a fucking child. It was like their music was so fucking good, and it's like it felt like a physical embodiment of like 2012, like what I listened to back then, and now I can't. You know, on a musical level though, Built for Blame, on a musical level, not including who made the album, is a fucking amazing album. But fucking hell, Joel ruins it. You know, I really want to apologize for this. Everyone's out to get me. I've listened to it a little bit, but not really that much, so I'm not really gonna say much about it. In fact, I'm pretty much just gonna skip it. Because the album after it, Demons, is my favorite Get Scared album, and I'm pretty excited to talk about it. So this album, Demons, released in 2015, is a beautiful culmination of Get Scared's abilities as a band. Going from the early post-hardcore pioneer that they were, you know, next to like Chiodos and such, to a full-fledged powerhouse metalcore band. And holy shit, is the album Demons a 10 out of 10. It is perfect. And it is the first album Get Scared's released since Built for Blame where I know all the songs 100% word for word. It is the best metalcore album in the past 3 years in my opinion. And I feel like they're just playing a huge part in keeping that genre alive and well. You know, Nick's screaming in this is fantastic. His clean vocals are the best they've ever been in my opinion. And songs like Addict show how well Nick is able to transition from his like this beautiful singing to his overwhelmingly done screaming. And honestly, he's up there for one of my favorite screamers. You know, he's beaten out by people like John from Dance Gavin Dance and Garrett from Silent Planet because they're very unique screamers. His screaming is somewhat generic, but also it's just done. It's executed so well. And honestly, I just recommend every song on Demons. They're all so good. My favorite is Addict, I'll be honest with you. I think it's so beautiful. It kind of reminds me of Dance with the Dead. I know if you listen to them side by side, it doesn't really fit the bill, but like just the way they're done, it really gives me that vibe. But you know, I'm very excited to see what they're gonna release this year, next year, because it's been 3 years and like take all the time they need. I just hope they can keep up with how good Demons was, but it might be hard to top that. But you know, honestly, Get Scared for me means a lot because it was the first heavier band I ever got into, and it was thanks to my sister that I got into them. And out of all the bands I listened to back in like 2011, 2012, besides, you know, besides like Panic at the Disco and Bring Me the Horizon, you know, Sleeping with Sirens, Ghost Town, Pierce the Veil, and a few other bands like that, I don't listen to them anymore, but Get Scared is the only band that has just kept me listening. And, you know, unlike bands like Panic and Bring Me the Horizon, I feel like Get Scared has just been getting better. And hopefully they're just gonna keep making these amazing albums, and I'd love to see them just last for another, you know, 10 years, making better and better albums and just keep topping themselves. So, that's been my evolution and opinion on the sound of Get Spooked. Thank you for watching.